Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Mahalia Joseph and C News is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, the murder toll continued to rise on Thursday night as at least 2 homicides were reported yesterday evening. At around 9 p.m., Mukesh Puram was near his home on Freeman Road, St. Augustine, chatting with friends when a gunman approached him. He was shot in the head at close range. He died almost instantly. Puram was recently released from jail and it is believed that his killing is linked to the drug trade in the area. In an unrelated incident, a Guyanese national was shot and killed on Old St. Joseph Road in Laventille. C News understands that shooting also took place at 9 p.m. on Thursday. According to reports, 22-year-old Raphael Williams was getting his hair braided by a female friend in the gallery of her home. A gunman entered the yard, prompting the scared woman to run off. Gunshots were then heard and the woman found Williams bleeding in the gallery. Emergency services were contacted, but Williams did not survive his injuries. To some other news now, COSTAT and the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago have signed a Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement will formalize an existing relationship between MAT and the Ken Gordon School of Journalism. This MOU will facilitate cooperation in areas such as professional media education, research and development, and branding. Chair of the Department of Journalism, Joel Nanton, described the MOU as no typical uniting and stated that it's a union that can heal a hurting industry. President of COSTAT, Dr. Gillian Paul, said that this MOU will improve journalistic abilities in the country.
That we can be an important partner in improving journalistic practice in the country, and that is actually symbolically what this signing ceremony means.
Parents of students at the Mayaro Government Primary School today protested the treatment of principal Andy Paul. The parents gathered outside the school from 8 a.m. this morning to 11 to express their feelings on the matter. President of the PTA, Dexter Douglas, said they stood in support of Mr. Paul.
To remove someone from a school for no apparent reason, with no apparent justification, right, with not proper notification or due process, according to the rights afforded to him as a principal, right, it's totally unjust. And we, the PTA, we stand behind Mr. Paul 100%. And we are going to continue action until this matter is resolved.
The ministry has said that as of now, the principal has not been formally suspended. The group says the school's performance has improved significantly under Paul's stewardship.
Right. We have the Mayaro Government School he has brought things to the school which include foreign exchange programs in a sense with other schools from England, schools from Guyana. Right, that come and do. Mayaro Government School is one of the first schools in Trinidad and Tobago right now to have smart boards.
This is the C News Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at C News Live. Also late on Thursday, the badly decomposed body of a man was found in Tabakit at around 2 p.m. and police were unable to identify the man. The cause of death is also still to be determined via autopsy. Today we celebrate World Health Day, and the Ministry of Health is urging the public to be more informed about treating with symptoms of depression. The theme of World Health Day for this year is Depression, Let's Talk. And on Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago, Ashvini Nath, a mental health officer for the ministry, said many Trimbagonians are misinformed about the ailment.
On March 30th, the World Health Organization announced that depression actually tops the list of causes of ill health worldwide. We have over 350 million persons suffering worldwide from depression, so it's very common, but yet still it's something that people don't talk about.
She said there needs to be cultural change to battle the disease called depression.
Want to change the culture in Trinidad and Tobago, just like they're trying to do all over the world today, because it's a topic that's stigmatized not just in Trinidad and Tobago. We want people to come and talk with us. We want people to know the signs and symptoms of depression. We want them to know where they can go and get help. What types of help are available for depression? What are some tips that they can try, you know, on their own if they notice that they may have a mild depression, to see if you know, self-care is what would be best for them.
Music producer Johnny Gonsalves passed away in Miami early on Friday. He had been suffering with pancreatic cancer. Gonsalves was a well-known name in the Trinidad and Tobago music industry and spearheaded the creation of the soca band Second Image. Gonsalves was most recently seen by local audiences as a judge on Digital Rising Stars. He was 54 years old. The man found dead at Paragrant Bay in northwest Trinidad has been identified as Shawndon Gloudon. The 22-year-old father of one from Maraval was identified by relatives by the clothing he was last seen in, a black and red striped t-shirt with blue three-quarter jeans and black and white Nike slippers. Relatives said he was an electrician and part-time fisherman who was last seen last week Friday. His body was first spotted by fishermen on Wednesday around noon, but officers struggled to get to the secluded beach by foot on that day, prompting a call for the Coast Guard to aid them on Thursday. However, due to the sea's rocky conditions, the Coast Guard were unable to get close enough. However, the persistence paid off as the body was eventually retrieved before 4 o'clock on Thursday, following a 5-mile hike through the forest. An autopsy is to be conducted on the body to determine the cause of death. Let's now join Ian Wallace for a look at our weather report.
The work week comes to an end and much of the Saharan dust is thinning, leaving us with just the occasional hazy spells, but it will still feel quite hot. 34 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 32 degrees Celsius in Tobago. If you're looking for some relief out at the beach, look for the Caribbean to still be occasionally choppy at 2 meters, but close to 2.5 further out in the Atlantic, with those long northerly swells continuing to move through waters east of the islands every 13 seconds through today. Sheltered bays should be around 1 meter with easterly winds of 15 knots. High tide at 2 p.m. is followed by low tide at 8 p.m. That's the latest weather, and I'm meteorologist Ian Wallace.
Whitco has seen a 3.3% decrease in revenue in the past year. This was confirmed by the Managing Director Jean-Pierre Ducoudray at the company's AGM this morning. The company had seen lower cigarette sales but still recorded a profit of $694 million before taxation. To some other news now, the acting Prime Minister Colm Imbert has defended the Minister of National Security's actions during his walkabout in Enterprise. Since his walk through the community on Friday following the deaths of 4 people in the area, a video of Minister Dillon's conversation with alleged unruly ISIS gang member Abdul Crisis Wakil has been making the rounds on social media, with many viewers commenting against the actions of the minister and the Deputy Commissioner of Police. The acting Prime Minister does not share the view that the man was scolded.
Made that particular video. The guy obviously didn't want to answer that question. He wanted to say something else. So that might have given the impression that, you know, Minister Dillon was being a bit firm with him, but he was simply asking him a question. The guy didn't want to answer it. And I saw the whole thing. I saw the guy being given an opportunity to speak. He said a lot. And I saw Mr. Dick not being intimidating at all, but telling him, we just want to let you know that we're giving you all your respect.
The Minister of National Security, Edmund Dillon, maintained that he was very much welcomed by residents.
On one individual. I think they had focus on the positive side. That have seen the amount of residents in the Enterprise area who welcomed the visit by the minister, who welcomed the visit of the soldiers and the policemen in Enterprise.
Meanwhile, giving an update on the situation in Enterprise, Minister Dillon said there continues to be a strong military and police presence in the area.
We continue to occupy the areas from our Lionsgate base, and there you would have seen an increase in presence, increase in patrols and so on, foot patrols and mobile patrols throughout the Enterprise area.
Law students at UWI's St. Augustine campus say they have no problem studying at a South campus, but they expect that all of the basic needs, that is safety and security, are met before they are moved to the law faculty's new base in Debe. Soini Gray has more.
Law students were invited on a tour of the University of the West Indies South Campus, which will hold the university's law faculty. Other faculties will also be housed at the Debe facility. Law students were granted a limited tour of the facilities following protest action last month, where they voiced their concerns about the impending move.
Being from someone outside of Trinidad and Tobago, I was led to believe that I was coming to a part of the island that was not developed. I was led to believe that the university planned on sending students to a place where we would have been lost, where there would be no means of communication, where perhaps we would be isolated from the rest of the world. So I was very pleased to see that it is in a part of the country where there is development, it is in a part of the country where there is access to the basic amenities.
That seemed to be the common thread from the students following the tour, that they were surprised by the state of readiness of the classrooms. The incoming public relations officer of the Law Society said the classrooms look close to completion.
There are still, however, concerns that we may have, because the land, one, is very expansive, and there are still security concerns, at least I have, right? Other than that, I think going forward from here, the next step is to have more consultation with the students. Right?
They also expressed concerns about their safety while at the Debe campus, especially as construction will continue even after the students have moved into the facility. Students say the university needs to assure them that their safety will not be compromised.
Because the campus is going to be done in phases, and phase 2 is far from, is still some ways to go. Student isolation will be an issue. So the campus principal and his administration would have told us 2 weeks ago that other faculties will be coming. But if one really look at the environment at the Debe campus right now, there's no way that those other faculties will be here anytime soon.
Mr. Thornhill said he was disappointed that no member of the university or faculty administration joined them on the tour. And while some of their concerns were addressed, they say much more consultation is needed to ensure the move goes smoothly. Soini Gray, C News.
Meanwhile, in the IPL, Sunil Narayan is in action for Kolkata Knight Riders as they take on Gujarat Lions in Rajkot. The West Indies may be missing Narayan, but Narayan may have missed being at home as he went wicketless in his 4 overs as the Lions piled on 183 for 4 in their 20 overs. Narayan's 4 overs cost 33 runs. Narayan's West Indies colleague Dwayne Smith was not required with the bat for Lions. Rally Trinidad will drive off this weekend, featuring some of the best drivers in this country, the UK and the Caribbean. As we hear from Kent Fuentes, this year's event has some changes and will get going with a special stage in Cuba.
This year's event will feature just 16 cars over 3 days of racing, ending in central Trinidad. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Rally Club, Robert Cadiz, says the event itself will be smaller than in previous years.
This year is a little smaller than we've had in previous years, and the event kicks off this weekend. There'll be 15 or 16 cars, if I'm not mistaken, kicking off for a 3-day event. Friday night, Saturday they will do 80 competitive kilometers down in south, and then on Sunday they will do approximately 50 competitive kilometers in the central area.
So who can we expect to be among the top challengers for this year's title?
Looking forward to seeing Ryan Pinero. He was finished quite high up last year. Stuart Johnson is our 2016 club champion. Those would be the 2 front runners from Trinidad. James Betts from Barbados would be, I think, your biggest threat to 2 of those guys. James and Ryan will be running sort of 1-2 in the seeding order.
2 of the more popular stages, the traditional opening stage at the Hazley Crawford Stadium and the closing stage at Saith Park, have been taken out. Cadiz explained why.
The Hazley Crawford Stadium has been a really good location for us. With less competitors this year, from last year to this year, we've struggled with a couple of the sponsors. Of course, you know, with sporting events, the economy plays a big part. Nevertheless, we are looking forward to going back to the Hasty Crawford next year. Safe Park, we have to negotiate a few safer options where the police are concerned and the road closures, etc.
Good luck to all the drivers. Kent Fuentes, Sea Sports.
Trinidad and Tobago is now Bahamas bound for the Carifta Water Polo Championships as our under-16 male and under-19 female teams make their bid to successfully defend their Carifta Water Polo titles from April 7th to April 9th, 2017. TNT's head delegate Jerry Chin Lee was pleased with the team selection and training regimen and believes the athletes will give a good account of themselves. Our under-15 male team will be competing in the under-16 male category at the Carifta Championships, while our under-18 female team will be competing in the under-19 female category as preparation for the CC-CAN Championships here in TNT later in the year. He also praised the young athletes for their commitment to the national program, saying the overall work ethic of the young athletes, discipline and attendance has been very good. That's how we end the C News Report at noon. I'm Mahalia Joseph. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the C News website at ctvtt.com. Have a good afternoon.